A Chico man says he went from having type 2 diabetes to being fully cured thanks to his business, Grow Chico. In this week's edition of Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by Happy at Home, Action News Now reporter Sade Pullen shows us how he turned things around.
Johnny Gray from Grow Chico tells me that specializing in microgreens, quail eggs, and vegetable plants like the ones behind me have changed his life, and now he's sharing his skills with the community. Johnny Gray founded Grow Chico, a company that's been making its mark in the community since 2023. Gray tells me that his business focuses on growing heirloom and organic vegetable plants and microgreens. Gray tells me that this business started after his life took a drastic turn.
I had an injury, had my ankle broken twice, went through multiple surgeries and didn't walk for about 2.5 years. During that time, I wasn't able to take care of my nutrition and my diet and developed type 2 diabetes. Falling into nutrition and intermittent fasting, going with heirloom vegetable plants for the more nutrition, same with the microgreens, grass-fed, grass-finished beef and intermittent fasting, and I cured my diabetes, no longer on any medications for it.
Gray tells me in 2022, after he was diagnosed with diabetes, he was placed in an induced coma for 3 weeks before being released home. But days later, his blood sugar soared and he was back in the hospital. He was eventually sent home with the recommendation to receive hospice care at just 41 years old. That's when Gray says he decided to try intermediate fasting to give his pancreas time to recuperate. Then he says he started growing and eating heirloom vegetables. He says they have 50 to 60% more nutrition than what you buy at the store.
Did a grass-fed, grass-finished beef, so you get an omega-3 fatty acid instead of omega-6, which is an inflammatory. And went to microgreens, and microgreens you get about 40 times the nutrition out of them.
He sells his produce at various businesses in our area, like New Earth Market, S&S Produce, Chico Natural Foods, My Oriental Market, Raw Bar, Cheers Chico, and more. As for his quail eggs, he says that he raises the quail hens himself. He says those eggs are 3 times higher in nutrition than a typical quail egg you find in stores. Gray tells me that these chickens right behind me also keep the rodents from reaching the quail eggs.
You have some salad mixes, you have some radishes. So what you do is you start by, depending on what strain they are, if they're like a broccoli, it's going to be 3 days to stack, and the weight allows them to drive their root system down. And then after that, you will put them down here and you will cover them and give them a light deprivation.
Gray tells me that the next steps for his business is selling fermented salsas and hot sauces. He says right now he's working with the state to get them licensed so they can be sold in stores. Reporting in Chico, I'm Sade Pullen with Action News Now.
And to learn more about Grow Chico, just go to our news tab and click on News Links.